Hey everybody, it's Zummo from Cyber6Skill, and as you can see on my screen here, today we're going to be walking through a tool that is very commonly used by threat actors in the underground, which is OpenBullet, or in this case I'm looking specifically at OpenBullet2. This is a tool, it's a web testing type tool that you can use for parsing, pen testing, things like that, but threat actors are most commonly using it for like DDoS attacks, as well as credential stuffing attacks, and I will show you why. It's because it's very easy for somebody to download this from the official GitHub or download a flavor from a threat actor that tweaked it a little bit. You can download the tools that you need to use it, such as like a config file targeting your favorite domain. So for example, if somebody wants free Netflix accounts, they simply build a config targeting Netflix, and then they can pass through a bunch of combinations of usernames and passwords until they get a successful hit. They don't have to build that themselves because threat actors are commonly sharing these configs for all of those popular sites: Netflix, Facebook, Amazon, Twitter, whatever the case might be. Threat actors are using these tools to get access to free accounts, to either just, for simple things like free access to Netflix, or they're trying to get access to somebody's network and do some real damage. So myself, I'm not a hacker. I'm not a professional hacker. I am somebody that just likes to play around with these tools and demonstrate like how easy they are to use it. I appreciate a GUI, SaaS products, and I like to just dive in and play around and see what I can do. So myself and Derek Smith, a colleague of mine, we downloaded OpenBullet, put it on an attack box, and played around with it. And I'm going to show you the results of that today. So first off, I mentioned that this is a tool that is widely used by threat actors in the underground. Right now I'm searching. I'm doing a specific search. I've narrowed it down some, but I'm looking for mentions of OpenBullet, SilverBullet, BlackBullet, which are all very similar tools in the underground in the past year. And I'm looking specifically at unique forum threads or posts, and I can see that there's 1,700 of these in the past year. Those are unique posts on forums alone. So I'm filtering out a bunch of different types of sources, like Telegram, where a lot of these programs have their help chats set up and things like that. Filtering all that stuff out right now. I care about unique forum posts, and as again, 1,700 results. There are 114,000 replies, as you can see in my bottom left-hand side of the screen here. These are threat actors that are replying to these threads, looking for help, getting access, and using the tool on themselves. So it's a very common tool used. In fact, there are even tutorials for threat actors to go and follow to start using the tool. Very similar tutorial that I use myself. Again, this is where I play. I'm in the underground all the time, and I see what threat actors are sharing, which piques my interest. And here we go. We have a tutorial that was from this past February, where a threat actor shared a tutorial to OpenBullet2, and it's step-by-step guide. There's a few issues in here that I had to debug myself, but for the most part, very simple for somebody to follow along and get help in installing and using OpenBullet on their machine. There's also the official forum itself for OpenBullet, where there are plenty of guides and users that are offering their help to set up this tool. So I have my attack box set up here. As you can see, I'm in Kali, and I've already installed OpenBullet. I'm not going to go through those steps, but it is pretty easy to install. I'm just going to open up a terminal from my OpenBullet folder, and I'm going to start an instance of OpenBullet simply by just doing a simple command here. I'm going to run that, and you can see it's spinning up an OpenBullet session for me. I'm going to copy this link address, throw it in my search bar here, and boom, we're in OpenBullet. So there is a bunch of things that you can go through here. It's pretty easily laid out. It's pretty intuitive. The areas that we're going to be focusing on are configs, word list, and monitor. Now, configs are the actual files that threat actors load in, which is the script essentially for OpenBullet to follow when targeting a specific domain. As I mentioned, you don't even have to build a config because there are plenty of threat actors that are sharing configs for free, config packs, configs to specific sites like the Amazons, whatever the case might be. A threat actor doesn't even have to go through that step of building their own. They can simply just download them from the underground here. And you can see I'm searching for, again, filtering out some items, but I'm searching for titles that mention config, and I want any of those that also mention OpenBullet, BlackBullet, SilverBullet in the post somewhere. And we got 49,000 of those results in the past year. So again, a threat actor, once they install it, they could simply just download one of these configs, combine it with a word list, and a word list is just a simple email username or username password dump. We see tons of those every single week. Third-party leaks, combination lists. Everybody sees them across their different feeds. We're seeing them all the time as we're collecting them. So you can simply just take the tool, download a config file, and then download a spreadsheet or text file of username passwords combination, put it all in OpenBullet, and then press play. And that's essentially what we're doing. However, we did go through the step of creating a config just to show how easy it is. And I say easy, it did take us a couple hours to debug this, Derek and I. Derek put a lot of the work in there. But it is pretty easy to set up, where we picked a target. In this case, we're using DemoBlaze. DemoBlaze is like it's a web store for testing purposes. It's just a fake web store. And we're going to attempt to log into an account here using a word list. So we have our target. We've set some parameters, the content that we're going to be passing in through our word list. We have some key checks to determine whether or not we get a positive hit or a negative hit, like a failed login or successful login. So we went through that. This is a very simple config. You can add a whole bunch of more steps here to this stacker tool that they have built in. But this is all that we needed to do to try and get access to this, this web app, this test web app site. So that now that we have our config, the next thing that we need to do is create our word list. So I created a word list already. It's already passed in here. I'll pull it up on screen to show you how simple it is. Here's my word list. And all it is just username, password. Username, password. So I put 3 lines in here. I'm not going to load in a massive amount of usernames, passwords. Again, I'm only testing a test site anyway. But this is all that we need. All that OpenBullet needs to start checking whether or not there's valid accounts or active accounts. So we created that. We went in here. We loaded that word list in. And then all we need to do now is create a job. I have my job here. I can edit this job. I don't want it to skip any of the lines within my word list. I've already loaded my word list in. As you can see here, word list 1, it's got 3 lines. Set your parameters. I want the job to run basically immediately once I hit play. And that's pretty much all you have to do. You can also set where you want the hits, if there are any, saved in your system. I'm going to hit edit there. And all I have to do now is hit play, or start in this case. So we're going to hit start. Here it goes. It's already done. It wasn't a very difficult job for it to run. And as you can see here on the data stats, we have 3 lines tested, 1 hit, and 2 fails. And that hit is right here at the bottom of our in our logs area of OpenBullet. So now we know now that the account test with this password is an active and positive hit on the web store that we are targeting. So I could simply just go in here now and then log in with those credentials and see if it actually lets us in. And it does. As you can see, it says welcome test. We can log out. We are now in this store. So now, as you can see, a threat actor can simply replicate these exact steps, but targeting any of the domains that they want to target and perform this same exact type of attack, which, as we saw in the underground, is an attack type that threat actors are frequently performing themselves, generating results. They then sometimes use the results, the active accounts themselves, or they might sell them across the underground for anybody else that is looking for free Netflix accounts or access to the company's network. So the point of this, again, was to show how a tool that is commonly used and distributed across the underground is very easy to get started with, downloading it yourself, and then downloading the rest of the requirements for that tool from the underground to be able to perform that attack, whether you're building it yourself or just following what everybody else does and reusing config files, reusing email password combinations that are dumped every single day. It's one of those tools that any threat actor, inexperienced or not, can use and deploy at will. Hope this was helpful. If you found this entertaining, or you would like us to dissect any other tools that are commonly used in the underground, please let us know. We'd be happy to install it on a sandbox, play around with it, and see if we have any success with it. And if we do, we'll share those results with you all. So thanks for stopping by, and look forward to the next one.